So this one we can pop Theo in here if you'd like.
Yeah, let's do it.
Question from Corey: what would you assume starting rotations are in AAA and AA, with the giant disclaimer of barring injury,
That's fun.
because there's going to be plenty of injury to start the season.
All right, Theo, why don't you take it away on AAA, dude?
Yeah, I already have a spreadsheet with the Twins and Saints roster, all every name, kind of where I project all the guys starting, if healthy, with the exception of Manuel Rodriguez.
There we
He's going to be
go.
behind for a few weeks, and he's the only one we have officially on the record of being behind with injury. And I still have Brock stored on my Major League roster, but I think he's looking well, but that's going to change probably in the few weeks to come. So here's what I have for the St. Paul Saints starting rotation pending in everyone's healthy. So David Festa, Zebby Matthews, Marco Raya, Andrew Morris, and Corey Lewis are the five guys. And those guys are going to have some innings limitations. So Randy Dobnak, 100% going to be piggybacking one of these guys. Their first start of the season, as well as Wasker Iona, who I can never get his name right, but, former Twins prospect hand. They sent him to Atlanta. He was decent during the 2021 Braves World Series run, but, he's dealt with a lot of injuries and hasn't been in the majors since 2022. So he's going to be someone who's going to be another guy who's piggybacking off someone starts through the month of April, and probably Saramo Ramirez as well, who they just picked up within the last week. So you're not looking at the most exciting thing for most of these guys. Most of these guys in the minor leagues are probably going to be throwing like 3-4 innings max. The guys who are in the best shape are going to go to the 5 innings, but most of the guys who are starting their seasons in the minor leagues have their pitch count limits, and they're going to be building up for those May, June, summer starts where they could go 5, 6, maybe 7 innings if everything's going well for them. So as of right now, it's looking fantastic for the Saints at the start of the season. Unfortunately, you're not going to see them go far into these starts, but I mean, again, Festa, Matthews, Morris, Raya, Lewis, if you could take all those guys with their potential peak in the major leagues as a rotation, you're still looking at middle to the top of the pack, top 15, top 10 rotation in baseball. If all those guys pan out at their peak potential. But again, we got to set our expectations to the reality. But it's a good start to the season for the Saints. But again, someone is likely to get hurt in the majors that could bump one of the other guys up. I have Simeon Woods Richardson in the Twins starting rotation, even though he's still a fringe candidate to be in the minor leagues.
No way.
I mean, some people might still see him that way, but I know he's going to be in the starting rotation for the Twins because of what he did. He went above and beyond expectations, but he was just cooked by the end of September because that was the most innings pitched he had in his career. So
he's not going to lose his job in the spring.
Oh God, no,
right?
No. The only reason
he'll lose his job in April or May, but he ain't losing his job in the spring. Two names I want to throw at you here, unless Jamie wants to add.
No, go ahead. It's all you.
So in my mind, don't call him Louis Varland should probably stay stretched out and piggyback and throw 3 innings to start, right? And then Travis Adams, 40-man.
Travis Adams, I could still see being a piggyback guy. I have talked to some people, and they've convinced me he is going to be much, much better pitcher as a reliever long term than he would be as a starter. But he's still in that, he's still in that group where he can go 3 innings in the early months and piggyback, but I just don't see the longevity, especially with the other names I've listed off of him just staying in the Saints rotation. And if he really wants to crack through in the Twins rotation, I think he is what we saw with like Josh Winder and Cole Sands 3 years ago, where, yeah, he might be still used as a starter, but those guys eventually got pushed to the bullpen because of who was ahead of them. And look how Cole Sands has turned out. Josh Winder, different story, but he's still got a good chance of panning out.
Which is fine. But the word there that's used is eventual. And you look at the surprise ads to the 40-man for pitchers over the last handful of years, like Brett Hedrick. They believed him as a starter way longer than maybe needed to. Bailey Ober didn't necessarily see that one coming, turned into a really good starter. So I don't see them adding Travis Adams unexpectedly and then being like, now we make you a relief pitcher. To me, it's like, prove us wrong. We're going to make you a starter. and keep you in one of these, not necessarily a piggyback guy, but you're not gonna piggyback him off of someone that is not on the 40 man, right? And so I view him as a definite guy in that rotation.
No,
barring injury, right?
No, you do make a good point there, because the Saints and all AAA teams just have opening weekend the same weekend as all major league teams, and then they're off that Monday and have 6 straight games wherever they play next. So I would be I think that first week of the season and in April he's still going to be used as a starter. You do bring up good points that tell me otherwise. I think just how I've thought about these things in my head, how I've talked to people who are in the Twins organization, this is just my own train of thoughts, and it should definitely not be used as merit of who's going to be official where. This is just my own conjecture. So, but again, it's still a great group of guys, and it's no discredit to Travis Adams. I just see his peak potential as a reliever, and I'm kind of jumping the gun on that. But I think he's still definitely going to be used as a starter for the first couple of months, and I hope to be proven wrong with him.